Yes, and we're back, once again. Y'all already know what it is. It's the Reentry Connect podcast. I'm your host, Keenan Hudson. We back with it. Go Eagles from the rip. Y'all already know. We had to represent coming on here. It's been a little minute, but we'll never stay away for too long. Here with my brother, Emmanuel Bayah Thomas. Yeah, we about to chop this thing down, concerning about real support and what does it look like. Bayah, welcome to the show, man. We know you was on before, but we always say, man, we're here and we're guests. We're always bringing a lot of knowledge, a lot of resources, a lot of encouragement to everyone in the world, giving people different standpoints, different outlooks on what it is to survive out here in the world. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and let Bayah introduce yourself, man. Tell us who you are and how you feeling.
Bayah Thomas, the love of life. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling humble. Loving and living life. It's a pleasure to be here amongst you, brother, and everybody that's here witnessing this pleasure that we are blessing y'all with today. It's a blessing to be able to share our stories, share our joy, share our pain, to motivate and inspire people to live life.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And Bayah, we're going to jump right into it because I know a lot of people will always ask, what does real support look like? Most people think that they can just survive on their own. When they come home, they have somewhat of a semi-plan, when they come home. But however, it doesn't just work like that. So if you can elaborate on some of the struggles, the ups and downs you may have been through, that would be a great insight for people to, acknowledge and understand.
Well, when it comes to real support, it starts at home with your parents or those that you, lost your life defending or protecting. When they love and support you while you're incarcerated, they have to do it in a way that's conducive to you coming home and being a productive citizen. One thing that's important for us is to have a home plan, and more of a home plan, employment, transportation. When we come home and we come to halfway houses, maybe we be blessed to actually have a home plan when it comes home to our family members or whatever. We need those individuals.
So real quick, before you continue, I want to ask you one quick thing, because a lot of times people, they look at just coming home as the ultimate goal, which is okay, but how important it is for the preparation before you come home.
And that's what I was, trying to explain. You have to prepare while you're incarcerated, because if you come home and think you're going to figure it out, when you get there, you already lost. Too many pieces going to be moving. Life on life terms going to move too fast for you, and you ain't going to be able to get your feet in place. So you have to prepare before you come home. Too often, individuals that's incarcerated, they say they're going to do this and be about that when they go home, but they doing the same things that they was doing that got them incarcerated while they're incarcerated. And you don't change your thinking. So you have to read and expose yourself to different things and educate yourself, because if you don't, you're going to fall a victim to the same pitfalls that got you incarcerated in the first place.
So cool. So right now, how many years of experience are you speaking from incarceration and being on the streets as well?
Wow. So I'm going to say about 38 years of experience running the streets, doing a quarter century in the box, and coming home March 16th will be 3 years now.
So you've been in prison for 25 years.
Straight.
And a lot of people would think, they'll look at you like, who this young boy on the screen, but them not knowing that you really been in the desert for years. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So going away for that amount of time, like you said, a quarter century, I'm quite sure everything has changed. You know what I'm saying? I did nearly 15 years, and I've seen a lot of things change. I went away when there was flip phones and things like that. Coming out, bang. They got touchpad, eye screens, and all this Bluetooth stuff. You know what I mean? So tell me, what was the feeling like when you first transitioned out here?
Well, for me, excuse me, it was like coming home and I was the star of the movie that I used to watch on TV. You know, you come home and you got everything talking to you, the car talking to you, the car park itself for it. You don't have to worry about finding something in the store. You hit the kiosk and you know it all automatically rings itself up. So it's so many different things that was mind-boggling to me. But actually having to come out and function and do things that was necessary using technology, it was a feat for me. But I didn't allow it to defeat me.
Cool, cool, cool. So what type of steps did you have to take? Like when you did come home, when you noticed that you had a felony, you couldn't find a job, you couldn't get a job, or was it a struggle in any type of way? Did people frown upon, your record? Like what type of obstacles did you go through with that?
Fortunately, coming to Harrisburg for the first time, I never been here before. Didn't have any family here. And I went to the halfway house to start my life anew in a new place, give myself a fresh start. So I was blessed, just being in the halfway house, talking to different people and being exposed to different people. Kurt Danish put me on Tomorrow's Neighbors, and just going to one event with him 3 days after my release, I was connected to so many people out here. And from there, like I never turned back. So was blessed with this program that's called the U Group. And you go there as a temp agency. So they give you a job. If you blessed to go in a certain time, you're going to be guaranteed a job there. And you don't have to worry about transportation. They come and get you and take you to and from work. So my transition, I didn't have to have a problem with employment. I was employed 2 weeks after me being home.
Wow. Okay, so let's touch a little bit of that subject or topic of real support and what real support looks like. Because we all know that when you spend a lot of time in prison, of course, a lot of loved ones, girlfriends, things like that, they usually ride and, they'll ride the first couple years. But we all know that after that 5 year mark and that 10 year mark, a lot of people then fell off because they had lives to live. However, majority of people don't have that type of support coming home. So when you came home, shout out to Kurt Danish, Tomorrow's Neighbors, because I know you just mentioned Kurt because he's a great support system as well. But how was the support, especially whether it be family support or even, accountability friendships you may have had on the outside? How key was that for you, before and after transition out of prison?
Well, a lot of things that I accomplished was because of my support system. I had an infallible support system, and my people supported me endlessly. Shout out to my mom, my dad. Have many mothers. My cousin Chubb. At the end of the day, without them, I wouldn't have been able to publish my first book, The Love of Life. They all helped me publish my book while I was incarcerated. And then when I was released, like I said, Kurt Danish at my initial reentry, but then I met Dr. Kevin Dolphin, Breaking the Chains. And that support system, home plan and all that like that there through Breaking the Chains. And so many different things came through these people that supported me. And it was times when I was incarcerated where I almost fell victim to my old thoughts and actions, but I couldn't let my people down. So that support right there made it that much stronger when I became weaker, and almost succumbed to, these thoughts and actions. And I just couldn't let my people down. So that support, was very important in my life.
Wow. So you're telling me that if you didn't have that support, a lot of time you will resort back into the old habits, the old ways, being around the old friends, the old companies, that corrupts the good morals. Um, and oftentimes we see that. We see that, it's always people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. And oftentimes when we were inside, we see people that brags about, they brag about having more than one um PP number or once a different state number, and you know what I mean, because they've been doing like 2 year stretches or 3 year stretches, and really not getting that actual clarity of, hey, this is prison. This is no place to play with. We've been around a lot of people that had life, they had death sentences and things like that, who really cherish freedom, who really would do anything to gain that freedom. But here it is, people that are getting smacks on the wrist, they keep going back. Now, if you could give some advice, to individuals that's in the half, because there's a lot of people right now that's in the halfway houses that looking at these videos and stuff, and a lot of them, sometimes they'll get like home passes and things like that, but they kind of resent. I don't even say resent when they go to certain jobs and they offer a minimum wage. They kind of want to turn it down because they think there's no money. But explain why you got to crawl before you can walk out here.
First and foremost, you got to humble yourself. We all was inside, and we started out any and every job with 19 cents. So we have these insecurities in regards to not being seen in certain jobs and certain positions. But it's too many of our brothers and sisters that lost their lives in the cell. Never get a chance to work at McDonald's and or any job that you may think that's unbecoming of you. Humble yourself. Take care of your family the right way, because you go left thinking you going right and you back in the cell again. It's a beautiful thing, going to work and coming home to your family and knowing you don't have to look over your shoulder, and or when you hear the sirens, you ain't got to worry about the people locking you up. Something different and something special. Cherish your freedom, cherish your life, love your life.
Gotcha. Now, and that's a great thing for you to share that. And a lot of times, often people, like you said, they put an emphasis. I would say the parole system. Parole system a lot of times put an emphasis on home plan and work plan. That's it. But I believe that education and self development is very important as well. Because without education, without like I say, self development, self care, building your own self up, learning different things, shaping your character uh, to the person that you really want to be in life is very important. So, what type of initiatives have you taken to develop oneself within you?
So on that, I'm gonna piggyback on something that you touched base on about falling victim to same people, places, and things, and falling victim to those type of thoughts and actions. I never did anything or thought of doing anything negative in my new life based on someone else's wants and needs of me being in that life. Mine came from people genuinely despising my growth and maturity and testing me and trying to get me to fall victim to those things. And it was very disrespectful when you're doing right and you're out inside penitentiary and shedding light outside, and people just despise your growth and maturity. That's what we had to fight through. So it's not just about somebody wanting to do wrong, but somebody's doing right, and people don't like the light that they're shining and try to dim your light. So I wanted to touch base on that. But when it comes to just being a productive man or woman, we always have to have a strong outlook on ourselves, because if we don't know who we are, then we're emulating any and everything that we think is cool. So many of us have identity crisis when we don't know who we are. So you have to focus on your character, your integrity, your morals, your beliefs, not
Yeah.
what you think and what people told you, because that is where it starts with you. Then you have to, like you said earlier, you have to educate yourself. You have to know about cognitive development, why you do the things you do, your trauma, what triggers you. These are the things that helps you become a better person. Because if you don't know why you act the way you do, then you're going to fall victim to acting that way,
Mm.
continuously. But if you understand the way you think and your feelings and how they affect your speech and your actions, then you can do something about it. I know back when I was in my, ways, I used to say, this is all I know. So therefore I had to learn more when I wanted to do better.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, wow. So, wow, and that's powerful that you say that, Bayard, because it definitely speaks volume. And one of the things that you mentioned also is about the mental. The mental is very important as well, uh, above all things. Because I remember in the past you mentioned that um, you was in a cell speaking to yourself, screaming, saying he was trying to kill you, and then you realized that it was yourself. You was the one that was in the cell. So most people don't
Well,
understand. But real quick, most people understand sometimes too that mental health, that mental ability, because especially when you're doing time, everybody's different. Some people are not as strong, even though we stand strong, but don't get it twisted. You get lonely mentally sometimes in there. If you're not focused. That's why we tend to play a lot of sports. We tend to, go to the boxing bag and things like that. Because eventually when you got a lot of thoughts in your mind, eventually your thoughts become words. So then people
it's,
think you're crazy because you talk to yourself, but that's a reality. We speak it from experience. So touch on it.
yeah. Yeah, it's deep that you brought that back up because it covers a lot. So I wasn't talking to myself in that cell. I was fighting for my freedom, and I was using my pain as a badge of honor, and I was using it to protect me. And I did so by acting out violently, and I used to hurt people, and it caused me to be placed in solitary confinement. And when I heard they trying to kill me, I didn't know it was me. I just heard that voice. But that was an after effect of what I'd done when I was punching the walls, fighting for my freedom. And when I came to, I still heard that because I was saying that. I was saying it. But when I heard it, it was like an after shock, like waves after I was saying
Mm.
it. Like, hold up. And then I realized when I was listening, like, that's my voice. That's me talking about they trying to kill me, but there's nobody in this cell but me.
Mm.
So the main thing about that is sometimes we take our pain and our trauma and we use it to defend ourselves. We act out in violent ways to protect ourselves from our pain and trauma. And it's comfort for us. But we don't know, like, our trauma is triggering our trauma because now we're victimizing people because we're hurt. So when
Yeah.
you don't know your mental trauma and your pain and your triggers, you will be constantly caught up in a vicious cycle.
Mm.
So it's
Wow.
important for us to learn what triggers us and have some different coping mechanisms to get us out of that. Because if we don't, we'll think we're saving ourselves from these holes, digging ourselves in a deeper hole.
Got you. So when it comes to that real support, when you came home, was it more of a support of accountability partner that could keep you on track? Was it somebody that you used to walk the track with? What did you find most useful for your transition?
Uh, when you say most important, the Dean of Islam, one. Secondly, my family or my support system. they was there for me. They was there supporting me. And then just the structure that I came home to, that I was blessed to thrive in. But when it come down to it, none of that really had anything to do with me not reoffending and things like that.
Mm.
That was just the honor that was instilled in me and seeking redemption, because I was freed from that cell after facing the death penalty at 18. I was freed from that cell after running in a bubble and assaulting three guards 8 years within my sentence, facing another 20 to 40. I was freed from that cell, where people lost their lives and, mothers can't kiss and hug their sons. And I was freed from that to combat that, to help save children's lives, to help my brothers and sisters that's incarcerated get home, to help my brothers and sisters that's incarcerated understand that they killing themselves, fighting,
Mm.
thinking that they doing what's right for them, but in reality, you killing yourself. So it's a blessing, it's an honor to be here, speaking to the men and women and the children that can hear my voice and feel my pain and feel my joy. So that was more than anything that came in regards to me having support to be home and to be a productive citizen in society. So that's where my support came from my family members, friends, and you. You were one of my biggest supporters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that, man. And sometimes I always reflect, man, and I always tell myself, man, never forget where you come from. Period. That's why I always try, I support. Again, like I tell everybody, I don't post everything I do. Especially in regards when it comes to people coming transitioning out, because it's not easy. A lot of people think, oh yeah, you home, yeah, this, that, and the third, but that's just the beginning. They don't understand that, sometimes you got to work one or two jobs. I tell people all the time, walking in the rain, you got to get on SEPTA and stuff like that, crawling before you can walk. Not everybody is built for that. A lot of people used to the fast money, but fast money then slowed up. And so it's a lot of things that's different. And real quick, I want to touch on something else that's really important for a lot of people when they come home too, is on actually like relationships. A lot of people might have girls that have been riding for them. Some may not. Some may have got married in prison that came home to them, wound up leaving. Um, how how was it for you? Like when you came home, did you get right into a relationship? Was a relationship the best option? Is it the best option for people to do when they come home, or should they wait and take their time? What do you think about that?
I know that's a tough one, and you know my story, so that's deep. So for
Oh,
me
and if you don't want to
personally,
touch on it, it's okay. If you want to,
nah, nah, nah,
yeah,
nah. You asked the
uh-huh.
question. My truth is my truth.
Yes, sir.
Fortunately for me, I was in a relationship while I was incarcerated, a long-term 10-year relationship, off and on, and
Mm-hmm.
me and my partner, we actually ended up getting married after I came home. But we met while I was incarcerated. So caution to this, caution to this. We learned each other while I was incarcerated, and it happened in a as we can say, like a honeymoon phase, where everything was right, everything was good. So much of arguments or misunderstandings was almost non-existent until pretty much my parole process came into an effect. So that was the first tell signs of trouble. But when I came home, it was something about me and something about her that we triggered each other. May have been this and may have been that, but our traumas, we triggered each other, and it ended up being very unhealthy. So that was something that we both had to part ways from. So, like I said, caution to that. Um, some people come home and they have genuine love in their heart for people that they're with, but we really don't know each other because we just getting to know each other as man and woman being free. May it be the woman or the man. So we have ways about us that this person may never seen. Now you can't hide it because you're living with this person. and these things may trigger one another. And if we don't know how to deal with that trauma, and we just unleashing, our defense mechanisms, it can be very traumatic for the other person, and it can end up being an unhealthy relationship. So I was blessed to enter into another relationship that's healthy. And to be honest, my trauma and her trauma triggered each other again. But we were able to talk that out. We was able to hear and feel each other out. Unfortunately, my failure in my first relationship helped me in my second one, um,
Mm.
to learn from what I did wrong or what I didn't do right, what she did wrong or what she didn't do right, and then try to understand. Um, because all I want to do is love. If anybody knows me, knows I'm the love of life, and I don't hold no animosity in my heart for anybody. So I'm definitely not going to do it for somebody that I love. So I fight for that. I'm always going to stand on that.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, because a lot of times, man, well, majority of the times, the reason why a lot of people go back to prison is to try to support a relationship. You know what I mean? A lot of times, the woman, nowadays, a lot of women are the breadwinners. Like, but what happens is men are try to keep up to that standard or try to say, well, I got to do something, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then they find themselves scrambling and reverting back to the old ways, or they wind up robbing somebody and things like that, which is not a good thing. You know what I mean? Like even like see me when I came home, I was real focused, man. Like I was so focused because mind you, going away at 15 years old, coming home, it took me about a year and a half to even start dating. Like you know what I'm saying? And but because I was focused on things, I had goals. Nobody was going to pay my bills, so I had to keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? So I was just learning things, but still, do I desire, to have children? Do I desire to have a wife? Absolutely. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we gotta remember life be lifing out this joint. You know what I'm saying? We gotta live, we gotta again, paying bills, we gotta manage things, we gotta sustain things, we gotta do a lot, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe that everything happens in due season. Everything is a time and place for everything. Everything has just got to happen right away. You know what I mean? And everybody's different. We can never compare ourselves to other people because we all have our own life to live. You know what I mean? So that's a wonderful thing. So yeah, without further ado, real quick, Bayah. Um, so and congratulations on your like you said, your new
Ah!
relationship, man. You got the baby, man. Oh man. Tell me, man, how does it feel, man, to be a new father to Gigi? Huh? What's going on, man?
Ah,
Tell us that feeling, man. For you spending 25 years in the prison, man, and you finally got a child. How does that feel?
man, it's out of this world, man. It's another level. Um, Alana is something special, beautiful, and we've we've been blessed with Golden. She's so beautiful. She's so smart. She's so strong.
How many
She's going to
pounds?
be
How many
great.
ounces did she come out?
She came out 5 pounds 6 ounces, 11 inches.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. She's special. She was a preemie, but um, she's so determined. It's
Wow.
like every moment when the doctor said this or the doctor said that, that little girl, she fought for it. She fought
Wow.
for it. Doctor said, "Oh, she can't come home because she's not such and such weight or whatever." She went and got that weight, so she can get up out of that hospital. Um, it's just a
Man.
blessing, man. It's something different. When you, me personally, ever since I was a kid, I strive to be a father, um, to
Mhm.
father my children. Too many of us grow up not knowing what that is, what that feels
Yeah,
like, and
exactly.
I vowed to myself and to my unborn children that I'll never be a deadbeat dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a blessing, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what's up, man. Really appreciate you sharing that, man. You going in depth. Like you said, man, it's a wonderful thing, man, that you have a family. Like you said, the Most High blessed you with a child. That's what's up, man. Hopefully, there's 5 more kids to come. You know what I mean? I'll be there for the wedding and everything, man. You know, but nonetheless, man. But look, Bayah, I know we was chopping it up for a good little while here, man. It was definitely nice, man. It was nice, having you on here. I know you always come through in that clutch, man. And again, like I know we could go on for days and days. And like I said, I know we're going to be coming back. We're going to have more panelists. We're going to have more people on here to share more of these experiences, man. Because, it gets deep, man. It gets deep, especially trying to understand. Because sometimes people do find it hard to understand people that come from prison, the mentality, how we think, you know what I'm saying, how we maneuver. And like you said, sometimes it's going to have, little ups and downs, little conflict of ways. And everybody got their ways, but then there's certain ways that we see out here in the world. Put it like this, there's a lot of things in the world we see that's wrong, but people consider as right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then vice versa, so and then we tend to come from that stern manhood, like, yo, there's certain things you do and there's certain things you don't do. You know what I'm saying? Especially rather than heated arguments, whatever the case may be. There's certain things you say and there's certain things you don't say.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because certain things, like you said, how many people you done seen got aired out for saying 2 wrong words?
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Got almost stabbed to death for saying 1 bad word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things, but again, adjusting and learning to adapt. Not saying that we have to conform, not saying that, we have to do everything that the world is doing, but at the same time, just learning to adjust. That's all it's gonna take. But like I said, Bayah, yeah, this was definitely a nice thing having you here. But go ahead, put your book up again. Let them know about your book. And we know you're going to be relaunching, doing another one too. That thing called The Love of Life. Yes, by Emmanuel Bayah Thomas. You tell them what that thing about, Bayah.
Love of Life. Just a combination of articles that I wrote, letters that I received from my support system, as well as spoken words, poetry that I wrote myself. This is a refined reflection of me, my character, the tangible representation of who I am, and more importantly, who I was while I was incarcerated. This was my flagship of the Love of Life LLC, who I am the CEO of. While I was incarcerated, I wanted to send my representation to the world before I was released. So this is what this is. Unfortunately, while I was incarcerated, I sent it out to a publishing company, third-party publishing company. I can't even say their name now because they changed their name, but they was vultures and they stole my book. But this book here is still for the people, so you can go and get it off of Amazon. The Love of Life by Emmanuel Bayah Thomas.
Absolutely, we appreciate you, Bayah. And no doubt, without further ado, shout out to Alana, shout out to Lil Gigi. We appreciate y'all. Can't wait to see y'all really soon. I know we've been debating on, when we set up a time, but it's all good. But without further ado, y'all, go Eagles. Y'all already know we in the Super Bowl. So y'all
Big Bird Gang. Big Bird Gang.
Bird Gang. God, man. But without further ado, y'all go ahead, y'all take it easy. It's the Reentry Connect podcast. I'm your host, Keenan Hudson, and y'all know how we do it. We always do it well. Share this thing with somebody that's coming out of prison, somebody that's literally just working their way little by little out here in the world. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a blessing for them just hearing our experiences. But without further ado, Bayah, you have a good night. I appreciate everything you do. Peace.
Live and love life.